All right, we are live. Welcome back to Slacker Z, everybody. My name is Chris. I am your host and GM for tonight's game. We are finally at the point where we're premiering and starting the main campaign of the Corsela Saga. We've gotten most of the introduction episodes out of the way. We've already done the BBAC trilogy, and now we're going into full swing. So tonight I've got our three of our normal regular players. You recognize them if you've seen the games before, and we'll introduce them in a moment. First off, I'm gonna describe what's going on so far. So, Corsela, we just got done the Civil War at the end of the BBAC trilogy. Over the last couple months, you guys have been doing your various side duties and working your way to this point. Dahlia was working with BBAC for a few months until the Sarin family situation came up, and BBAC sent Dahlia to the Corsela to help alleviate that. Sarin, escaping from Kessel, has earned his way to becoming a strong leader for the Triad and representing the Zon Consortium, along with Kata, who at this time now, as we're starting this game, is on assignment with the Consortium, so that puts Sarin in charge of any of the Consortium's dealings on Corsela. And Gorm, our biker, earned his way on the Triad's Council and is now pretty much leading not only the Council representation for his gang, but for pretty much all the gangs on Corsela. He's the man now. We start our story tonight at a bar in Kingston. Over the past few months, the city of Kingston's been repaired. The new members of the Triad, this mysterious droid group, has been quite quickly rebuilding Kingston to its former glory after the Civil War. This bar that you guys are at, there's a celebration tonight. The Sarin family, who Dahlia helped to get the ship in and secure that they would handle security on the planet, they're celebrating this deal with the Triad and the Zon Consortium. And we'll begin tonight's game with kind of an introduction of who you guys are. As you guys are talking in the bar before this grand show that the Sarin family's putting on, you guys talk about what's been going on the past couple months, what you guys have done, and I will start off with Brian, then Gabe, and then Sean, and then we'll get into the game. So Brian, what has Dahlia been doing in the last couple of months?
Well, she's been checking back and forth with BBAC to make sure he's okay and he's healing up all right. And then doing whatever they need her to do. If they need her to go out and find someone to shoot, she'll go out and find someone to shoot and kill. And hopefully if they're an Imperial, that's always much better. And even if it's someone who is pro-Imperial, whatever, she'll take them out. But so she's just helping them get everything ready and helping Sarin, who's new, to get acclimated, and he wanted to learn how to deal with firearms, so she's been helping him with that. So she's been busy. She's shining her guns. She loves her guns.
All right. Awesome. And what has Sarin been doing the past few months?
Well, Sarin has came across his group and has promised him a lot of dealings to do with getting back for his family, a lot of vengeance, revenge. And Uri Finn has probably been trying to use that swelled up aggression, kind of make him more calm, to not just understanding, that arms aren't always the wisest thing, and to think and learn how to think and to think quickly, even in the midst of hand-to-hand combat, and has been training with him, has lost many, many times, but he still gets back up no matter how painful it is or what. He's always getting back up, so he is determined. Um, Guns, he wants to learn. He thinks it's cool. However, a lot of the handles are just too small for him. Um, he doesn't feel right. Like most two-handers that people use are almost the size of a one-hander for him, and he knows that's not how it works because it still kicks back a lot. And so he's trying to figure out a medium, but he just, for the most part, he's always comfortable with his claws. I mean, him as a hunter, before he was caged up, you could say. That's something he feels normal, feels natural, and he is always thinking to himself, if Kata's not around, what would Kata do? And this is how he kind of reacts on, tries to make him think. He's a little slower. He's not as intelligent as the rest, but he does try. And he's definitely a lot less naive than you probably first met him or seen him in. So.
All right,
All
and
right.
I'm Sean. I run the GM's Dice. You've seen me play on Chris's games numerous times. Tonight I'm playing Gorm, a Weequay outlaw technician. He's spent the last few months doing what he's dedicated his life to, which is running errands for the gang. Uh, the gang's name is the Amshak Riders, which translates in basic to the Thunder God Riders. Weequay are a very religious race. Um, he he's worked his way up into the what their gang calls the nomad position, where he's pretty much allowed to go and do as he pleases, as long as he represents the triad and makes sure that the triad gets proper representation in all deals that go down on Corsela. He recently was in the party that welcomed Sarin and a few others to Corsela. That was almost a botched mission because of miscommunications and such, but it overall it went fairly smoothly. But aside from that, he's been doing what he does best. He rides, he checks on all the different things, all the different gangs, and makes sure that all the different treaties and deals about territory stay upheld.
All right. Those were wonderful, wonderful introductions for tonight's game. All right, so you guys were the only ones available out of the group of our players that could make it to this celebration. Like I said, Kate is off on missions with the consortium off planet. Some of the other characters you haven't met yet from the trilogy, they'll be coming back. Let's see who else. Dristan, he's off doing whatever Dristan does. And Nikita was supposed to be here, but unfortunately nobody knows where she is at the moment. So you guys are all kind of curious on where she could be. But you guys are in a bar. It's Dahlia, it's not like the bar you were in during the trilogy. It is a totally different bar. That bar has been destroyed. But this bar is a brand new bar funded by the Sarin family and pretty much owned by them at this point. They did have some help with the droids to build it and stuff, but the ownership primarily is the Sarin family. Like I said at the beginning, it's a celebration. The Sarin family is now in charge of security on the planet. And to show that they are a fair security force that occur, who is the leader of the family at this time. Well, actually, no, he's in retirement. Zara, who is the leader of the family at this time, I apologize, has decided to throw this massive party. Celebrate, enjoy it. It's been probably the last few weeks have been very quiet for you guys. Not much going on, not many missions, not many calls to action. You guys are rested up, and you guys are sitting there at the bar waiting for a show. There's a singer by the name of Diney Door. She is Zeltron. She's famous around the galaxy. She is a very beautiful woman. Her voice is almost angelic. The music is very different to Dahlia would have heard similar music when she was in the bar before on Kingston. A lot kind of metal rock music like we know. But she puts on one hell of a show. It's a lot of visuals, a lot of costumes and stuff. And I mean, this to get a show like this on this planet is extremely difficult. But Zara, and with the help of Kerr, pulled this off. And for the first time in 10 years, Kerr is supposed to arrive on anywhere. He's been known to stay on the home planet. So, we begin tonight's game with you three sitting at a table, waiting for the show to begin. And I'll let you guys role play for a bit.
Dala is nursing her drink. She's not one to really get drunk, especially in a situation like this. I mean, she might privately, but most of the time, she's always looking out over her shoulder. She's always considering her past and everything. So she's nursing her drink and quietly sitting there with the others and just sort of watching and watching and watching and watching and being sort of as pleasant as she can be, which means she's not hitting someone or yelling or something like that. Or she doesn't really yell all that much, but demand and be herself, be like she's in the picture. So she's just watching.
All right. Gorm, being the typical biker, he's been drinking fairly heavily and gets nice and loud-mouthed. And occasionally he'll reach over and sort of the chummy thump on Saren's shoulder and sort of point out at a crowd, hey, you see that? And sort of talk smack about somebody who's walking by, sort of getting Soren the uptake on different people in the city. And every now and then he'll do the same thing and then point up at the stage and, oh, did you hear that? And this means that and whatnot. And look, she's bending over. And just being your typical rowdy biker, drinking a little too much, getting a little mouthy at times with people, knowing he's got some clout and some weight due to his rank in the gangs, he tends to throw it around a bit at times.
And Saren's basically, when he keeps getting disturbed and have to look everywhere, he's cutting into his big old steak that he has. He stabs it with his finger and he starts chewing on the steak piece that's on his nail. And he's like, what? This one not see her tail. Was it funny? And kind of looking and just kind of like puts it in his mouth and starts chewing and looking around other things. This one think not that redhead is coming. She's late. She's always on time, like robot. She's gonna miss show.
You'd know better than me. I just met her. Well, I just met you too, for that matter. But hey, and tips back a big old mug.
All right, everybody, make a perceptions check. Difficulty of 2. In Guam, you get a setback because you said you were heavily drinking, and looking at women and stuff, so you may not have noticed this. So.
How did I get a black?
You said one setback, right?
Yeah, just one setback. Yeah.
How did I get a black die?
Oh wow. Oh my gosh.
Nilled out nothing.
All right. As
I
you
didn't
guys
have
are
a black
talking, you
die.
start.
Well,
Yeah,
oh,
you
I
did,
see
but-
what it is. Should I roll this again? I thought I didn't have the thing for reset after each roll. So that's what.
It's fine because your roll's still milled out on, and the force die won't affect it any. But I can tell you guys this: as you guys are talking, you start to notice a crowd of people starting to walk in off of a side stage door. As you guys are sitting, you guys are, I'd say probably there's like a stage, and you got like 3 tables up front, 3 more tables in the middle, and about 5 tables in the back. And then it rises up like a set of steps to a raised area with a bar and a few smaller tables kind of lying around, and then the steps on 2 sides. You guys are sitting in the middle table right before the platform. And as you see off to your, so if you guys are facing the stage, you would be off to your left. You see a group of people starting to kind of mingle around there. You notice some Mandalorian armor and stuff, but nothing you notice like any particular people or anything. You just notice a group. And as the group starts milling about and kind of spreading out, you start to see different people walking. And you see a Marillion young girl with purple hair. She like in a wife beater type shirt, Han Solo type pants, boots, walks in and is just kind of strutting her stuff. She's a little bubbly, bounty. Followed by her, you see Arcanian man, well dressed. I mean, he's dressed to the T, the nicest, finest robes, looking very regal. And after him, there's a Twi'lek woman, blue-skinned, has all the kind of a blackish gray jumpsuit, has all this gear like on her utility belt, like little gadgets and stuff that are just kind of connected onto there. Those 3 walk in and take a seat. A few more moments pass, and another party walks in. You notice 2 Mandalorian, full armor, appears to be male, walking in front, and behind them is one man. Probably he stands about 6'3", gray hair, eye patch on his right eye. Older gentleman, like I said, about 60s. Kind of walks with a limp on his right leg a little bit. And on flanking both sides, just behind him, a female Mandalorian and another male Mandalorian. And they walk up and proceed to a table right in the center front stage, right up front. The first group you see is to the table to the right. And then a few more moments pass as you guys are sitting there waiting, and 2 more individuals walk out, females. One appears to be human. She's just dressed in very nice clothing, not a dress, just nice kind of male type clothing, pants, nice shirt. She has a couple pistols in holsters on each side, and a hooded woman with this armor, and the hood comes up out of the armor, and a cape that flows behind it. It's armored, and You can't really see her face, but you notice what looks to be some tattooing, and so they walk in and sit down to the table on the left. As you guys were waiting for the show to begin, I'll let you go play a little bit more.
So she just looks at them. She turns to Guam and says, "They do not look like music lovers."
I don't know if they love music or not, but I know they're almost as good for business as Imperials are.
Imperials where? I don't see them.
No, not now.
You won't find any Imperials around here. I mean, they're good for business like the Imperials, since the Imperials have taken over. Criminal business is booming, so these guys are almost as good for business as Imperials are.
Yeah, we'll make Imperials go boom.
I think we're gonna get along just fine.
Yes.
Kata says, careful with Imperial word, because it always stops me, especially now food's not good in my stomach anymore. And he kind of pushes his plate. It's like half a steak left, and it's just drink and chewing and. They'd be sorry if they came here.
That I don't doubt. And the whole time while saying this, Gorm's kind of eyeballing the young, bubbly, bouncy one with the purple hair.
A few moments pass as you guys carrying on this conversation, and then the lights start to dim in the bar. And slowly, as the lights are dimming, some of the people from the bar are starting to take seats around tables around you. Others have been talking, standing, sitting at the tables. Everybody starts to take their seats. Excuse me. The lights up on the stage start to come up, and you see this very attractive looking blonde woman come up on stage. Now, at first, you guys were probably surprised by this, because from what you heard, it's supposed to be a Zeltron woman that's performing tonight. You see this blonde-looking human up on stage. The lights just go down, and like the general lights, like the lights on the stage are just kind of the general lighting. They go down, and these spotlights just start shooting different directions, and the music just starts hard and heavy, blaring. And after a couple seconds of like an intro to a song, she starts singing. And this angelic voice just fills the room. I mean, for the music that you're listening to and hearing this voice, you wouldn't think would normally fit in the type of this music, but for some reason it just blends perfectly. So you continue watching the show, watching her perform, and in between songs the lights will go down. After the first song it goes down. Lights come up again, and all of a sudden you notice that the woman that was blonde-haired standing on stage is now red-headed. Still looking human, but now she's got red hair, different outfit on. She's still singing and performing. I want you guys to make perception checks, hard difficulty.
Which is
3 purple, yeah.
3 purple.
Soren doesn't really notice anything. He's just too busy noticing the music, and it's throwing him off. I mean, he's never seen anything like this before.
And especially
Warm,
those red laser lights kind of get him to
yeah.
do things like.
Guarm in his cousin Lincoln, his mind's a little bit more loose to this. He's noticing as he's watching the show that this human figure's kind of like, it's like a flicker. So you'll see her, and it's a human with red head, and it'll flicker, and you'll see a Zeltron woman standing there with red hair, but she's got the kind of the pinkish reddish skin, just as beautiful as she appears in human form. You just notice that her skin color changes briefly, and it's really brief. I mean, it's like that, but you just notice it. Dahlia, with her keen eye, notices the same thing.
So this is sort of part of her act, so to speak. At least you think it is.
But you guys don't know what's going on. You just notice that you guys just for a split second see that just for a moment, and then goes back.
All right. I know I've been drinking, but did she just change colors?
Yes. It must be part of the show. At least I hope it's part of the show.
Who changed
Okay.
colors?
The singer.
I just had to clarify. Like I said, I put down a few of these mugs so far this evening. Had to make sure I wasn't seeing things. I think I might need to slow down.
That might be a good idea, considering what's sitting over there.
This one thinks there's too many things to see.
I think you're right. But we should try and be cautious as to what's going on. This would make a good diversion for some kind of bad behavior.
Well, bad behavior. I mean, hell, I aim to misbehave. What are you talking about?
Not that kind of bad behavior. Bad behavior perpetrated on us and the family. The kind that would hurt them. Not the kind you're used to.
Okay, yeah, I'd better slow down then.
All right, so the music, gets through more sets, and a couple songs she's still in their human redheaded form, and about song 4 or 5 she changes again. When the lights go down, it comes back up. She's now black hair, really dark set, dark eyes. Before you didn't really notice, you couldn't notice the colors because of the lights and stuff, but her eyes are so dark in this form, you can't help but tell. They almost look black from your guys' position. Music keeps playing. After the 5th song plays, you notice a Mandalorian walk up to the center table, looking leaning down like they're whispering and into the older gentleman's ear. Music's playing and playing. The older gentleman nods, motions to the 4 Mandalorians that are sitting with them. They all get up and casually, now the music's still playing, casually walk off to where they came in at. The Mandalorian that just was talking to the first group goes over to the table with the Marillion, the Arcanian, and the Twi'lek, whispers in the Marillion's ear, and she nods, and they slowly get up and casually, I mean, it's not like they're rushing, they're just casually walking out towards the entrance they came in. The Mandalorian then walks up to the last table where the last group came in, whispers, they both nod, both the females nod, and he walks off and they stay there at that table.
Okay.
Music keeps playing, and the show wraps up. You guys don't. I mean, it's been kind of a wild night. A lot of drinking on Gorm's part until he saw the flicker, and he's like, "Nope, nope." Soren's just been disoriented this whole time because of all the lights and stuff.
So
Dahlia is still vigilant, looking, make sure everything's cool. But the slope wraps up. No incident. Everybody seemed to be having a good time.
so
And,
I was going to
yeah,
say
go ahead, Brandon.
before everything was going to wrap, and so the whole group just finally leave, as if they were waiting, and then somebody came in and possibly said, "Blah blah blah is here, so it's time for blah blah," and then they all kind of got up and went off. This is just what
Would it appear?
So,
Oh, that's what she's thinking.
that's what she's thinking. I'm wondering, did they all leave?
No, the
Four of them
first
left.
two, like the middle table, which held the older gentleman and then the four Mandalorians, they were the first to get up and leave. The Marillion, the Twi'lek, and the Arcanian left. But the two females that sat on the one table, they stayed.
Okay. So before it ends, and I notice that they leave, I want to try and stealth myself out and kind of follow them just to see what's going on.
The two women.
No, the ones that are left, the ones that took off.
Did you stay during the whole show?
Yes.
Okay. They would have been gone by now.
That's
They
what I mean.
left.
If by noticing them when they leave, I want to get up though.
Oh, you want? Oh, okay.
So you know, I kind of stealth myself out while it's still going on and follow them, just to see.
Okay, we'll rewind it a bit. So as she sees them
Sure.
leave, is going to check out to see what they are, where they're going. Okay, so do a stealth check.
Okay.
Average with a boost because this show and everything's keeping everybody else distracted. So
that's one purple or two purple.
that'd be two purple average. Yep. Two purple with a boost. With blue dot.
Okay. Oh. Finally.
Okay, so you go to follow them, and you walk through their door. Nobody seems to notice you as you're walking through the side stage door. You walk. It's just a hallway. As you're going through the hallway, there's it looks like a walkway that goes up on stage, and that goes off onto your right, and then in front of you is just like a back door. You don't see anybody in the hallway right now except for maybe a few stage hands kind of bouncing from the stage back behind backstage and grabbing stuff, and otherwise like maybe one or two individuals that are doing that. Otherwise, it's completely empty.
Is there a back door out of here?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
about 30 feet, I would say.
I'm gonna go toward there, still moving cautiously and quietly, and go out the back door and see if they perhaps departed that way.
As you open the door, notice that you just walk out and it's an alleyway. When you turn to your right, you just see the end of the alley. If you turn off to your left, you see the group of people that had left standing there talking to another Mandalorian that's standing out there. Do a hard perception check with a setback because you can still kind of hear the music that's going on. It's not super loud, but it's distracting enough to try to hear what they're saying. So that'd be 3 purple, 1 black.
3 purple, 1 black. Okay. Okay. Can I use a whatchamacallit die?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. And that would, let's see, that would give me then.
It would turn one of your greens or yellow.
What about what
if you have all yellow, then add a green.
Okay. That's what I need to do. All right. So here we go. Let's see what's going to No.
Oh no, you succeed. Take 2 strain for trying to focus enough to hear what they're saying. But from what you catch of the conversation, you catch this. You catch the older gentleman saying, "What do you mean she didn't report in? She was supposed to be here tonight. Where the hell is she?" And you hear the Mandalorian say, "I don't know, sir. The last contact we had from her, she was on Tatooine. She was proceeding on her mission, and that's the last thing we heard from her." And you hear, "All right, let's go." And you see them disperse. They start heading down the street towards where all the speeders and speeder bikes, land speeders, whatever vehicles that are parked there. They get to. Huh?
I watched them leave and everything, and kind of make note of what they were driving and riding.
They're just driving the typical land speeders like you see in I don't know what they're called, but like the ones in a New Hope. They look just like Luke, the one that Luke drove. Yeah, they're just junky, old. It's what you can get here at the point. You know, you're in a criminal-laden city that's just gone through a civil war, so it's what you take, what you can get. Right.
Oh, nice speeders, like in Coruscant. With
yeah, nothing
those
like
were
that.
cool speeders. What's the chance? Did I pick up any names, any kind of name that when they were talking about said woman who wasn't here? Is there any chance that I might have heard a name? Tatooine.
Okay, do a. Let's see what I do for that one. That would be just a straight knowledge check.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just do your intellect check with just an average 2 purple.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Ouch!
You can't think of anybody that would be. I mean, outside of Nikita, who's supposed to be here, you can't think of anybody else right offhand. It appeared that the people that were supposed to be here were here tonight.
All right. So I will quietly make my way back into the club and back to Warm and Sarum.
Okay. And was there anything Guam or Sarum would do before the end of the show?
He goes, where did she go?
Gorm is this lady's hair and everything changes again and all that. He just sort of pushes his mug away from her. That's it, I'm done. That's not normal.
Sorry, and believes you. It's not normal, but I see it too. It's like blue, and then purple, black, and then other things. And where Dala? Oh, never mind. She probably went to potty.
Right. So as Dala comes back, sits down do you inform? Does Dahlia inform those two?
Oh yes.
What she heard?
I knew they were up to something. They looked suspicious. And they were waiting for someone from Tatooine to show up, but she did not show. Obviously, they are here for some kind of.
I don't think I've been to Tatooine. What building is that one?
It's not a building. It's a planet, a desert. It's hot, and it's not a nice place.
I hear it's worse than here.
It is.
Worse? No. I don't want to go to Tatooine. We're going Tatooine?
No. But apparently someone from Tatooine was supposed to come here and meet those Mandalorians that were sitting over there. But they didn't. But she didn't. And I couldn't hear a name. So, and then they all took off on speeder bikes or speeders and that was the last we heard. So they might be up to something. We should keep apprised of their activities while they're still in the area.
What?
I don't trust them.
Don't trust them.
No.
What would
Okay.
Kata do? Kata would get up. Yeah, I'm gonna get up. And you'll see that instead of being on the actual chair itself, I'm on the edge of the table, and I'll just get up from the table, and being as high as either Guam or even where you'll see me that I was basically on my knees on the floor next to the table this whole time, and um, trying to remember which way, and I'm kind of like doing this and turning to figure out which way the potty room was, because that's where they, I guess, was listening, because that's my mind.
Oh.
Then we go find them and confront and ask them what they're doing.
They have
Because-
left. They've taken off on vehicles, so they are far from here. But if we see them again, we need to keep an eye on them.
But they all look alike.
Did they all look alike in their armor?
Yeah, for the most part, they look all alike. I mean, besides, one of them was female, the rest were male from their armor, as you could tell. But otherwise, they looked all the same.
Okay.
Except for the ones that were dressed in other, like I said, the other group. They were dressed in actual, not Mandalorian armor. They were just dressed in regular clothing. The Arcanian, the Marillion, the Twi'lek, and then the two ladies, the one hooded one, and then the other one that was sitting with them. The rest of them, except for the older gentleman, which he was just in kind of nice clothing, but the ones that were with him were all in Mandalorian armor. The Mandalorian that came in was in Mandalorian armor, and the Mandalorian you saw talking outside was in armor. So out of all of them, there were 6 different individuals in armor. The rest were not in armor.
Okay.
Of who you've seen. And you haven't seen any other Mandalorians around, which is kind of, from what you guys knew of what was going on tonight, that front row was designated for family members and associates. So for all you guys know, that was everybody associated with the Sarin family in some way, shape, or form. They had the whole front row. Everybody else was, the other tables were like you guys. You had probably the next best table besides the front row, because you guys were right in front, and you were right near the bar in the center, so you had the best seat, next best seat in the house, and then other members of like the Amtrak riders, there's some other members, some members of the consortium were there, some members of the droids, some of their mechanics and stuff were there. A couple civilians that live in the town, not many. Probably Dala would recognize maybe 1 or 2 from the show that they were at when Beatback performed. One of those types of groupies that you always see at those shows. Maybe 1 or 2 of those. And otherwise, it was majority of them were either Triad members or somebody associated with the Triad or the Sarin family. It was very much a private event for the upper echelon.
Okay. So I tell Soren, let's not worry about them now, or be concerned about them now.
Well, Sarin got idea.
What is your idea?
This one's idea is you, Dala, go and talk to nice lady that we got shipped for, and ask her maybe why they here, and maybe she make you feel better on trusting them or not trusting them. Maybe she don't trust them either.
That's a good idea. I can do that. So probably it's late though. And is she here, or who he's talking about?
Doesn't appear that she's here.
Okay.
You haven't like all the Mandalorians you saw. None of them looked like I songs. Karamla is her name. Yeah, she's not here what she appears.
Okay. So perhaps that will be something to do tomorrow. But I think we should depart for the evening unless you want to stay here and drink some more. I myself am done.
After all the stuff
Alright,
I've been
so-
seeing tonight, I'm done drinking.
Yes, you should come too, and we shall find some sort of beverage that will help clear your mind a bit, or perhaps some very strong food that's very spicy that will help you.
Now that we go, can I take food and eat it normal?
Yes.
You just see me just grab the chunk with my hand, not even caring, just grabs it and just like ready to go.
That's
So
quite
you
fun.
guys, are you guys leaving before the end of the show, or are you waiting until the very end of the show to leave?
It's when the show is done.
Okay. So the show wraps up. People are just cheering, going nuts. Warm and Soren probably would wonder why, because it's just been one crazy stuff after another. Dala may not as much, I don't know, because of how performers work and if she's had any dealings with same performances.
Yeah, she's seen a lot of stuff like this. She's from the city.
Okay, so it's not right.
No.
So people are cheering. You do notice the two females that were sitting alone stand up and casually walk towards that exit where Dala went, where all the Mandalorians had went before. Just nonchalantly, not just kind of like how they came in. They go out at the end of the show.
Okay.
The Diney Dora is her name. That's the performer. She bows. She thanks everybody. She does one more kind of encore song. It's like the biggest hit that she's ever put out. Everybody's just going nuts that are familiar with her. I mean, it's like the greatest song ever, and people just go nuts. And then the show ends, and people start milling about. Some continue drinking. Others start leaving. I assume that you guys depart as the
Yes.
music ends. When everybody else starts, it's not staying to party longer. Okay, so you guys head out to your wherever you guys are staying, a motel or whatever. If you guys found houses or not, you go back, crash for the night. The next morning, as you guys get up, you get a notification on the communications to head back to Crimson Springs for an urgent meeting.
Okay. So we'll
So
go
you guys
find
get
these
up.
two.
So you guys get up, get ready for the day, make your ride to Crimson Springs. It's about, I think it's like a 2 or 3 hour hard ride to Crimson Springs. You make it there uneventful. You guys all head into the building you're familiar with. It's where the consortium building, the main building is. Dala knows it. Soren knows it. Gorm's gotten to know it over time. The meeting place. You guys you show up there. You three are the only ones that are there at this moment.
Okay.
As you walk in, Hollow pops up as you walk in and says, "Wonderful. I need you." It's you arrived, Ben, and he's wonderful. You guys have arrived. All right. I need you guys to stay here and sit tight. We've got a situation that's come up. I will be back with you guys in about a couple of minutes or so to discuss what's going on. And you see him turning like I was turning, and then clicks off.
Well, that's
Interesting.
never good.
No, especially after last night. What's the chances that it involves them?
Let's say they're moderate chances.
That means we're going Tatooine.
I don't know. Hopefully not. Don't worry yet.
Okay. You let this one know when to worry.
I will.
As much as I hope we're not going, from what I've heard of the place, I kind of wouldn't mind going. I've never been off this rock.
Well, if we are going any place, I hope it's to a city.
Oh, they got cities.
Without sand. They have cities on Tatooine, but they're just hot and dirty and dusty, sandy.
So
I like it.
Why do people
Gorm
go
just
there?
sort of,
Sometimes they have no choice.
Gorm just sort of chuckles to himself, and he sort of scratches at the leathery skin, and he says, huh? Sounds like my kind of place.
Why won't people go to like forests or lakes and rivers, stuff like that? That's better.
Well, I agree. They probably do. But right now it seems to be Tatooine, as it's been referred to as a wretched hive of scum and villainy. So it only makes sense that that's where trouble goes. It often goes to Tatooine, or it comes from Tatooine. But we should just wait and see. We may be completely wrong about what is going on.
You know, I'll sit on the ground, cross my legs, and stare into nothing, and as if meditating.
I shall just wait quietly.
Okay.
Gorm pulls one of his recon remote droids out of his bag and starts tinkering with it.
All right. At that, I want perception checks from all of you. The difficulties are all going to be different because it's what you guys are doing. Orm is going to make it with a difficulty of 5 purples. Dala is going to make it with a difficulty of 4 purples. Sarin is going to do it with the difficulty of 3 purples. All perception checks. All right. Gorm doesn't notice anything. He's too busy tinkering with the little droid, not even noticing. As Dala and Sarin are sitting there and staring at the wall, just waiting, all of a sudden, the wall just kind of starts. And Dala starts to see it too. And as it does it, all of a sudden, 3 individuals just appear out of nowhere. You recognize them. 2 of them are the 2 that were sitting at the table, still dressed pretty much the same way they were the day before. The other one is the Zeltron woman that you saw between the flickers. They're all standing right there, right at the wall where Sarin is standing. Or staring at, sorry. Where he was staring at, they all just appear out of nowhere.
Okay.
Sarin would probably do a quick kick up, or kip up, sorry, to from where how he was meditating, and kind of get into defensive and sorry, doggy. He got scared.
What does Dala do?
I pull my gun and just point it at them and say, "What can we do for you?"
And Gorm was. What happens at this point?
Gorm, sorry about the giggling from my wife and daughter. Gorm, he's sitting there on the ground. He's like got a rag out and he's wiping the lens off of the droid's eye and all this. And when Sauron hops up and does his growl and all that, he like startles and drops the droid and looks up and sees these three women standing there. He goes ahead and stands up and just sort of doesn't reach for a weapon or anything right away. He just stands there, just sort of dumbfounded, like, "Wait, you weren't there just a minute ago. What? Where? What? How?"
All right. And as you guys all react to this, the hollow comes back up. It's Shirai. And he says, right on time, ladies. And he looks at you guys and goes, sorry for these three startling you. It's just how they are. He pauses for a moment and goes, an unfortunate thing has happened. The Sarin family has some kind of emergency that has come up. And unfortunately, their security duties that they were going to perform have been put off for a while. So until further time, you guys, and he points to you three, Kata, and a few others will be pulling security here on this planet until the Sarin family returns. And he motions, he goes, these three are three of Kerr Sarin's daughters, here to represent him and to inform us of what's going on. You may see them on planet, you may not. They are free to go wherever they need to. They work independently of the rest of the family, but they do deliver messages. He pauses again for a moment. He goes, I will have a mission for you momentarily that the Sarin family was supposed to handle, but I'm getting the intelligence on it now and all the information. Later on this afternoon, I want you guys to return here for the mission briefing. I should have it by then. You're right, then out, and it clicks off. And now it's just you guys standing there with the three lovely ladies. They don't say anything, they just stand there.
What does this one do? He's gone.
As the thing clicks off, Gorm sort of looks over at Sauron and Dahlia and he says, see, I told you they're good for business, but lawman, I don't know about being no lawman. I'm an outlaw.
I agree. It's not something I really spend my time doing. But it's something we're going to have to do.
As you said, lawman and stuff, the Zeltron chuckles and she says, you think that's what we were going to do on this planet, is just be policemen? No, security on this planet means anything that affects business for the Triad gets a limit. You're not marshals. You do what Mandalorians do best. Take jobs, take contracts, and earn money.
Well, I'm all for earning money and earning credits, but I ain't no damn Mandalorian. And when he says that, he sort of kicks the droid that he dropped and makes this sort of beep and a click noise, and the thing whirls up and sort of hovers up above his head.
And as you kicked it, it flies up. It flies up, hovers for a minute, and all of a sudden, you see it fly and crash against the wall. Just boom! And you look and you notice that the human-looking one in the kind of the suit, nice-looking clothes, just waved her hand towards the direction where the droid ended up hitting the wall. And looks a little annoyed.
I gotta fix that thing, and damn it, you're one of them frickin' wizards or whatever. Damn it, I gotta fix that thing again.
So, what is she? Wizard or Mandalorian?
Good question.
From the sounds and looks of
This
it, both.
Zeltron smiles and she goes, by bloodline, we all three are Mandalorians. And she gets kind of this cocky grin on her face. She goes, and I guess you could call us wizards, but we're something much more deadly than you could ever possibly imagine.
I don't know. I can
And
imagine.
don't worry.
This one can think of much more dangerous things and bigger than you and bigger than me.
She chuckles at that, and she says, all you guys need to concern yourselves with at this time is that you guys are looking out for the interests of the consortium, as she points to Sarin, the triad, as she points at Worm, and your friend, as she points at you, Dollar, which she's referring to. You pretty much guess that she's talking about feedback. This concerns all of those groups and much more. You're not here to be Mandalorians. You're here to make sure that all the operations that happen on this planet remain business as usual.
Who's posing
That's
a
what
threat
our
to
purpose
them?
here on the...
All right, so business
She
as
goes-
usual.
Correct. And when you said... What did you say again, Brian?
Who's posing a threat to them?
She goes... The Imperials, for one. There are still Imperials left from the Civil War on this planet that we're trying to flesh out. You have many other parties that are looking to take control of this planet.
Whoa.
For their
Watch the I
own
word.
needs.
You know?
Watch the imp word, and he sort of grabs Sauron by the shoulder.
Now looking at Dala just like as quickly as he gets grabbed. She not no rule because she said Imperials are here.
Of course, Imperials are here. And and as she stands, she looks around, and she goes, I'm going to fill you guys in on a little bit on your mission. Sarin, you wanted to know who killed your family. Well, this is your first step to getting revenge on the ones that took your family from you. That is all I can tell you right now.
I know who killed family. I know by smell. When I smell them, I know. I saw.
You will know. She goes, but until then, you will wait until your boss, and she's referring to obviously Uri, gets back to you. But for now, we have another mission to go upon. We have some other people to talk to. And as she says that, the vision starts to bubble again, and then they're gone. You can't see them.
She said, go talk to people. Who people?
Alright, so we're going to fast forward here to later on in the afternoon when Uri briefs you guys. He tells you that the mission the Srin family was supposed to go on was there's a meeting between what appears to be a Black Sun member that has made his way somehow on the planet and is trying to reestablish contact with the Imperials that are hidden on the planet, in primarily most of them, it sounds like in Kingston, to restart the Civil War, to get it going again. Their mission was supposed to be to stop this meeting, or at least interrupt it, and prevent this from pushing on again. They were supposed to do it tomorrow, but because of their situation, they've had to pull out. So your guys' mission is to go to Kingston, where this group is supposed to meet. They're supposed to be meeting in the business district of Kingston. A lot of the rebuilding's happening. It was a site of where the Black Sun and the Imperials were trying to wipe out the government area. It's the same area where the council used to meet before it got destroyed, and then now they meet in Crimson Springs. Your contact, you're supposed to meet the leader of the Cobalt Dragon crew. It was his local Kingston swoop gang. He is not one of the ones that were part of the betrayal of some of the gangs that were going on. He's very loyal to the consortium and very loyal to the Triad. Gorm, you would have met him a couple times. Fallen man, or Fallon, however you pronounce that, male, in his late 20s, early 30s. And you're supposed to meet him. It's where the meeting place is, and you guys have the map to get there. It's supposed to be nearby where this meeting's supposed to take place.
What was his name again?
His name is, oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I gave it. His name is Cor Halcor. C-O-R-R is his first name. H-A-L-C-O-R-R. Cor Halcor. He has the information on the meeting. He had caught he's got the main intelligence that was fed back to the Triad, fed to the Stern family, and now it's fed to you. He's going to give you details on what they're doing, but the plan is to stop this meeting as much as you can and eliminate everybody on the ground at this meeting. Leave no survivors.
Do you have a picture of Cor Halcor?
I do not, unfortunately.
Or a description of him or something?
Would you guys? I don't. Okay, but yeah, you guys would have been given in the briefing what he looks like. Where the meeting, he's going to be at this meeting place, so you guys know exactly where the meeting place is supposed to be. And like I said, it's really near close to where this meeting is supposed to take place. Basically, your mission is to ambush the meeting and kill everybody that's there. Eliminate everybody that's a part of this meeting. The meeting can be as few as only 3 people and as 15. They're not sure on the number that's supposed to be meeting. They just know that the meeting's supposed to be taking place. It's a deal between the Black Sun and the Imperials to restart up. What it sounds like is a negotiation that the Black Sun's pulling on the Empire to continue on with the Civil War. What it sounded like is that the Black Sun does not want to get into it again, but the Imperials want them to kick it back up, and they're willing to pay them greatly for this.
Okay.
And so that is the mission you guys have been getting.
No, I knew they were up to no good. They have to be stopped and killed.
And the whole time that Uri has been speaking, these guys would have looked in the corner of my eye. I'm already stretching, flexing, and getting myself limber. And just like Warehouse, fun. Make Sauron be red again, and they will know.
Good. Keep that in your thoughts. You're going to need that. So, we should probably prepare before this to go and meet them, or see them, or find them.
All right. So you guys get ready for the mission.
Arm up.
Load it up.
Yes.
Arm up. And you head to the meeting point in Kingston or it would be the next day as you guys prep through the night. Got all that. Was there anything you guys want to cover before we head on to the mission? Any questions or anything?
Gorm
Alright.
repairs his recon droid.
Okay, and I'll give it to you. You were successful, and in fact, actually, there was a little tweak in it that you couldn't fix before and couldn't figure out. But when it broke apart, you found it right away and you fixed it. So now it works better than it did before. So I'll give you that. So you move on to the mission. Getting into the city's uneventful. I mean, you notice the same thing you've been noticing for weeks and months now. Droids working back and forth, buildings starting to go up, and as time's been going on, and this city's been going up quicker than you guys could have possibly imagined. The droids have been highly efficient and highly quick and very fast at rebuilding the city and getting it rewired and everything. You show up to meet Core in an alleyway where you were designated. Core standing there with another guy, human guy, just looks like a typical swoop biker, and they meet with you and they say, well, you guys must be the security team that are replacing the Serin family.
That is us.
All right.
One thing though, as Gorm and everybody start pulling into this alley, Gorm has a comm jammer that he keeps in his saddlebag. He reaches back just as they're pulling into the alley. He reaches back and flips it on.
All right.
So that way nobody can get a word out or listen in to anything that's going on in the alley.
All right. So comm jammer's going. Nobody can hear anything. And Core says, well, here's the deal. He points back from the alley and goes, all right, if you go off to your left here, about a block down is where the meeting's supposed to be. As you guys pulled in, you noticed that you came in from the south. There are buildings. You came up and you noticed that there was a barricade in front of you, right where that alley, there's two alleyways that go this way, and then there's buildings here. Well, they're right at the edge of the buildings and the alleyways, so there's a barricade that sits right there. It's not like you can walk past them, but it's really hard to get land speeders through. Speed bikes would be very difficult to get around them. They probably could get around them, but you have a very good chance of dinging up your bike. It's blocked off mostly for vehicles and stuff.
Okay.
And when you went in to the left where Core was at in this alleyway. So he points out back towards the street and goes, okay, if you go past that barricade, about a block up is where the meeting's supposed to be. It's a perfect place. It is the one area where it's all blocked off from any vehicle traffic, and a lot of the reconstruction now is happening in this section in town. And you noticed when you came up and drove up, the building to your left, and you're standing right near it, there's buildings and two buildings. Well, actually, no. The two off to your left, you got the one building, you're standing there. It's mostly intact. There's some damage, little bits, but it looks like most of it's back together. It looks pretty good shape. They're just doing some patch-up work. There's some holes from blasters and other things went. The building, the first building right there is intact. The other building off to your right is intact. And onto the right side of the barricade is just this big, huge, it looks like parts of the building and just a lot of rubble. And it's about 2 to 3 stories high, depending on the waves and the piles and the rubble. But, I mean, it's a pretty high. It looks like this building was probably one of the biggest buildings in there that it collapsed. And basically, it's just a big rubble pile now. Behind that, you can see the skeleton behind the one building that's 95, like pretty much all fixed, is the skeleton of a building. Looks like there was a building there once torn down. Now they're just re-putting a new building up. The one off to the right is pretty well damaged, but it's in like repairing like the one building, but it's just more damage and there's more repair work on it. The intersection is right in where the rubble pile, one building. So Core tells you that's where the meeting's supposed to happen because a lot of the construction's happening. The droids don't seem to mind anybody walking. They're too busy working on constructing to notice anything.
How do they want us to disrupt their meeting? Do you want a direct assault or something more covert?
Core goes, well, what I was thinking is we could set up some kind of a ambush. I don't know when they're meeting. We'll have to look and see if they're even down there yet or what, but if we've got time, we may want to set up an ambush.
Okay.
Now this building, he points up because he's facing out towards the street and you guys are facing towards the end of the alley. He points up to the building and he goes, now this building's still being worked on. It's pretty much almost done. We can get somebody up there pretty easily. It's not powered up. The droids won't care. They won't even notice. Now that building's probably about 3 or 4 stories high. He goes, now the rubble pile, I don't know. It looks like it may be a little bit unstable. We could try to set up an ambush position up there too. The building across from the rubble, we're not going to be able to get into. There's just way too much repairs and droids. We'd make too much of a ruckus and we'd be noticed. And he points to the skeleton building. He goes, we could try that, but there's not much cover and we may be spotted easily.
And as they're talking...
So what do you guys think?
As they're talking, and he's explaining these things, my vision starts looking at these buildings as trees. And kind of like the rolling hills back in our hunting fields, and just the way it's set up, it kind of starts looking like this, how I would, or my pack would, do our major big hunts. And I start looking at it, and I want to see if there's something that we could probably use as a primary hiding to ambush, because I'm looking and just knowing from my chieftains and other more experienced hunters of how they would direct us. And instead of seeing these just as buildings, I'm looking at them literally as I'm in the woods.
All right. Well, from your knowledge, what he's saying is pretty accurate. The rubble pile is unstable, but it's not. I'd say it's not impossible to set up an ambush from that rubble site. The one building he's talking about that they've got total access to looks like it's decent, but it may be a little too high. But there are like windows and stuff that you can look out of. There's plenty of cover in that building, so if you want to get inside on a lower floor and make an ambush, you could. And you notice that the one building that's just basically a skeleton would work perfectly to climb up and come down. But like you said, there's not a lot of cover on it. It's pretty much just like a steel framed building. And the other building is very heavily droided. You could get into it, but you may risk alerting somebody. So I'll let you guys decide. What do you want to do? How do you want to set up this ambush?
Should probably set up some kind of crisscross fire for those of us using guns, which is probably just the 2 of us.
I got a rifle, but I ain't the best with it. I'm better with my blade.
You might want to be close by and go after them, perhaps the same way that Sarin would do.
As far as ambushing goes, I'm not too worried about the droids. I should be able to talk my way through them. They, for the most part, they give us meatbags that can speak binary a little leeway.
So you want to go in the one building that is in major repair with the droids all in it?
It's not necessarily that he wants to. It's just that he's mentioning that it's a decent possibility for him.
Okay. So Cora goes, all right, that could work. You could get in that building. That would set up fire there, and he sits there and he's thinking, and he points to you, Dala, and he goes, how good are you with a gun?
I'm very good.
All right, I'm going to go up in this building.
I will.
We'll have a field of fire there. Now all we have to worry about is if anybody tries to run. We'll have the intersections pretty much covered from here and here.
I have a feeling if
Fire.
someone tries to run, Sullen will catch them. He's quite fleet of foot.
Oh, you're talking to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they run and I know it, yeah, I chase. They're going to wish they just stayed and died instead of flee and die. Then they die tired.
That's what I like to hear.
But jumping, they don't
Cora
look.
goes,
Go ahead.
People don't look up. Animals don't look up if they don't sense if they're being preyed upon. Our prey won't look up. I'll go up some, not a lot, just some, and come from down on top of them. Yeah. I'm
Cora
just looking.
goes, okay. So you will, okay. He's thinking, he goes, all right, me and my buddy here, we're going to set up shop in the rubble pile area. We know a little spot where we might be able to hide out. And he looks at his weapon and goes, I only have a few rounds for this, so I got to make my shots count. And as you looking at the weapon he's pointing out, it looks like a really fancy dueling pistol. And you notice he's got a few rounds, but there isn't much he has on him. Mostly his buddies got the more of the ammo. He goes, we will sit there. He goes, all right, this is the plan. He points at Gorm. He goes, Gorm, you go up in that droid building. You get past the droids, set up a shot there, field the fire that way. He points at Dolly. He goes, Dolly, you go into this building, which is the one that's mostly finished. You'll have the field of fire there. We'll cover the fire. Field of fire on the intersection will be completely covered. Soren, you set up whatever position you need to jump out and capture anybody who escapes. And us two will hide in the rebel pile and help get stragglers also. Sound like a good plan, gentlemen and lady?
It does.
Sounds all right to me.
All right. And so, wait on Soren. All right. I guess we'll pause for a moment to wait for Gabe to get back. Alright, so you guys discuss your plan. You guys set up and over. You guys are waiting and waiting and waiting.
So we're up in the building just looking down at where the whole area is.
Yeah.
How
How did Dala want to go up in the building? Like I said, it's about, let's see, that building's 3 stories. So you got the ground floor, middle floor.
She's going to go to the best floor that will give her the optimum view of the whole area, and with the best chance to nail people.
Okay. All right. What's your range on your weapon? Are you getting the optimal range, or do you just in that?
Let's see what this says.
The HH-50 heavy blaster pistol. It's short.
Okay, then you would probably want to see near the ground floor area.
So maybe like
You'd be
second floor?
pushing- The second floor, you'd be getting into medium range, and you'd be extending your range on it. I mean, you could do it, but there'd be some penalties on that.
All right.
I'm just, right. Then if you go up on the third floor, that would be long, and then the fourth floor would be on the extreme level where you'd want a sniper position, or up on the roof, I should say.
Well, if I want to do medium, let's see. No, the
Medium would put you. Now these buildings are pretty well. Like the one building you're in is pretty well put together. Like I said, there's just a few spots that are being worked on. But otherwise, the only other, people that are in here, there are no other people. It's just droids working. But like I said, there's a lot of cover because the building's pretty much intact.
Okay.
And on the first floor, there's a couple of spots facing there that you could get cover and still have a shot. So you wouldn't have to be like sitting in a window. There's like holes and stuff that are still worked on. So you'd find a hole that you find a shot in.
Okay. I would like one, though, near a window so we can kind of get an overview of everything. So if there's one...
Okay, so yeah, I'll say that you find one that's right near a window. It also has cover so you can shoot out of it so you don't have to bust open the window stays intact, you can look, and then you can move to the other place where you can fire and not damage the window. So, Warm, I would like you to do a deception check, but I'm going to give you 2 bonuses to see if you can get into the building without the droids making much fuss. Because you speak binary, I'm going to give you 2 boost die on that deception check. It's a difficulty, of, let's go with 2. Let's go with the 2, average.
Alright, so 2 bonuses you give me plus the 1 I get for my speaks binary talent. And
oh yeah. You have no problem. The droids are just dumbfounded that somebody actually did pretty darn well. That's not a droid. So they basically communicate to you that, oh yeah, you're fine. We're just working here. Don't mind us. We'll leave you alone, and they just go on working as you're discussing. What's the range on your weapon, Sean?
medium.
Medium.
Well,
okay, so you can.
It's long, but if anything over medium, I get a setback due to my modification to shoot it one-handed.
Okay. So you could go ground level, first level. This building's 6. So once you get past level 3, you're starting to get into really hard shots, and to hit the roof would be probably impossible to get a really good shot. I mean, it'd be 1 in 1,000 shot. So floor 1
He'd probably
would
go
be
to the
floor, and then the ground floor, and then the next floor up would be medium, long, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he'd probably go to the second floor,
Okay.
and look for a place to where he has his vantage point over their meeting area, and at the same time a decent place that he could sort of park his bike to where it's like right below where he's planning on being. Just in case he needs to make a quick getaway, he could just like hop out the window onto it and take off.
Okay. So you find no problem getting the bike where you need to be, getting your position set up. Sarin, where were you heading? Oh, is there something else, Sean?
I was gonna say that, and while he's waiting, being the dirty, underhanded outlaw that he is, his blade, if it comes into the fact that he winds up needing it, he doses it with a neuroparalytic.
All right. Okay. And then Soren, where are you all
Probably,
going?
I would probably use more of the skeleton because I can easily get down to treat it as perches using my stealth to basically leap down from or even follow certain paths, make sure I have either the right guys or, just I'm going to be using a lot of using some height and, of course, my stealth.
All right. All right. I want you to, for your stealth, I just want to see what this lands at. Do a hard stealth check.
Okay.
3 purple. I just want to see where you're at.
Okay, and I want to use a destiny
Okay.
die.
All right.
All right.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. You have no problem. It's a little difficult for you to, because like I said, it's a skeleton, but you do find a spot. But I'm going to give you one strain.
Okay.
With the threat, but I'm going to say you did accomplish it with the triumph. That you would have made it. And that'll depend on. So it appears that you cannot be seen by anybody on the ground. You're pretty sure you've got a nice, good spot. That if you need to jump out, boom, you'll be right on top of it. Cor and his buddy, you see them get to their position. It looks like there's just like a wall that used to, like a corner wall that stands, and there's just rubble all around it. It looks like the old windows came up, and they're just sitting in that corner waiting. Time goes by. About an hour goes by. Soren, do me a perception check. Or no, survival check. Difficulty of 2. All right. You smell something. Smells familiar, but you're not quite sure where at this moment you recognize that scent. Takes you a little bit. So, but you know you recognize it from it. It's a familiar smell. As you're going on, you about a minute or 2 passes, and you see coming from between the rubble building and where the core and the one guy is, and the building where Gorm's at. Walking down that street, you see what looks like to be an Imperial officer, a marshal type looking dude, and 4 stormtroopers. 2 of them in the front, 2 of them in the back, with the Imperial officer and the marshal looking guy kind of walking down the street from the opposite direction, in between where Soren's at and Dahlia's at. There is a gentleman in these nice fine robes with a medallion of the Black Sun around his neck. Human male. And flanking him on each side appears to be 2 humans. They look like they're your typical criminals. Nobody special looking, and just seem to be flanking this gentleman. And as you're watching the procession starting to go to the intersection, you notice the two stormtroopers on the back behind are carrying what looks like some kind of small crate as they're marching up the street. They get to the center of the street. The two stormtroopers set down the crate in the middle of the intersection. The Imperial officer and the marshal guy are standing on the side of the intersection where they came from. The Black Sun guy and the two other guys are standing on the end of this intersection where they came from. Then to the north and the south, the two stormtroopers are standing at the other ends of those roads. So they would be standing in between where Sarn is and Gorn is on that side of the intersection. There's two stormtroopers. Then between where Kor and the other guy is and Dala is, there's two stormtroopers there. And that's where they're set up. Stormtroopers are looking behind it, like, so their meetings, if they be facing in front, that's the meeting, but they're turned behind, so they're looking to see if somebody's coming up those two roads. And they start talking. I want you guys to, let's see, how high is Sarin up? How many stories did he go up? Did he do 1, 2, is he ground?
To be honest, I think I would have only gone basically so I can jump at short. Anything higher would take away from my concentration or my bodily concentration.
Okay. So you'd be kind of like some of the cross beam sections, right where the ground floor roof and the I'd say the second floor meet, right in that area.
So kind of like where Obi-Wan was at the time of that meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, it'd be. Oh, you mean when they're having the meeting on a what's that? That one planet with the it'd be if I remember when he meets when he finally confronts Grievous.
Correct.
Okay, that would be. It would actually be a little bit lower than that.
Oh, okay.
But about that. I would say that would be like 2 or 3 stories from where he jumped down. So, yeah, you'd be quite a bit lower than that.
Okay.
Because where he was standing would be medium to long range, actually.
All right.
So.
And since I know I don't have a comm, because I only get it when Kata's around, I think they might. I'm going to be thinking they're going to take my move for their actions. So, yeah. So right when they kind of do kind of a swift look away from me, that's when I'm going to go ahead and do my pounce down.
Okay. All right. So as you can
down that fire.
Okay. All right. So they'd be talking. Everybody do perception checks. Difficulty of let's go with 2 with a setback because of the construction noise that's going on around you. All right. Wow, the dice are not with you tonight, guys. Wow. See.
Okay. Would this be considered like tracking, in a sense? Like
no, you're trying to hear what they're. This is basically trying to hear what they're saying at this moment because they're starting to talk.
Okay, then I don't care about what they're saying.
So you just hear them talking, and so everybody's waiting for Sean to make his move.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about what they're actually saying, even though I have my advantage. My advantage would actually, I don't know how that would go for listening, but probably I guess to get maybe another echo of something and to be able to get a, pinpoint little bit better. I don't know. I don't know how to actually do that because it's for listening.
I'll give you so for the advantages you guys you're only but you guys from what you can hear know exactly where everybody's at for sure. It's more visual cues for you. So I'll give Gabe, Brian, you guys will get a boost dice on your first combat deck. Gorm will get 2 boost dice on the first.
All right.
On his first
So
combat.
you want me to go ahead and pounce down, then initiate, or just initiate?
I'll leave that up to you guys how you want to do it. I mean, they're sitting there talking right now, and they're not really. They're, like I said, 2 stormtroopers. They're looking down, so they're not really looking in your direction right now. They're just looking down the street. They don't expect anything from the buildings.
All right. I'll try to hurry
As
this
far
up.
as they're concerned,
I have to actually go to the door, so I'm gonna go ahead and.
I'm going to wait for Sarah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do apologize, guys. So I'm gonna do my cool initiative since it's kind of going off of me, and then jumping down.
okay?
And, oh wow. Okay, so I have to use the light side to make this work, and I do leap down, and so I have two advantage or 2
So
successes, 1 advantage, and a triumph. I'll be right back. I do apologize.
Okay. So let's see. That's okay, because I got to set up initiative. All right.
Should I roll it cool?
Yeah, roll. Oh. Oh, wow. Yeah, I got like a bunch of them I got to roll, so just give me a
Sure,
little bit.
Let's go ahead. It's fine.
Oh, wow. All right. Ooh. All right. One of these. Jeez. Alright. Oh, glad I got lucky on there. So that's an NPC. So I forgot those 2. Forgot core. Alright, so be a long initiative order. Probably the longest I've ever done. As many enemies as there is. So that's a player 1. So that's 2, 1. One NPC. 2. Alright. Alright, so the initiative order, let's see. What's next? Oh, wow. PC. Now I'm doing PC core, and his buddy will be PC for you guys, and then you just decide if you guys want one of those 2 guys to go. Just tell me, have those guys go. So, but on your side. So that's how I'm doing it for initiative, to keep track.
I don't know. To make it easier, probably give him the last PC slots of the round, just to make it easy.
Actually, I'm doing it, so I'm giving you guys a little bit of advantage just because if I did it the way it is, then it would be like a lot of. It'd be, yeah. So let's see. So I'm trying to figure out the rest. So let's say that's one. So I have 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There. Okay. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. So it's going to be NPC, NPC, PC, 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 NPC, PC, PC, and then the last 3 NPCs. So I'm going to give, let's see, because you went ahead and jumped down, Sarn, I'm going to have you do an attack roll first, and then we'll go into the initial because you get a surprise round for that. And you guys were going to react right away when he pounced, right?
Yes, I was gonna wait till he pounced and then see what kind of, what that, hopefully that creates some kind of diversion, and then I'm gonna go from there while they possibly are dealing with him.
So you weren't going to react right away. Okay, you're going to wait.
Yeah.
Was Gorm going to attack right away, or was he going to wait also?
Yeah, no. As soon as he pounced down, I was gonna fire at one of the fancy dressed guys that was doing the talking.
Okay. So then I will give Sarn and Gorm a surprise round for initiative order. So Sarn, if you're the closest, you're jumping the closest guy to you would either be one of the guys flanking the Black Sun guy or one of the stormtroopers. You're kind of right in that area, so you get to decide which one you're going to attack first.
Gabe is muted.
Crap, I was sorry.
Gabe, you're muted.
What I would probably do is, because the mission speculates and statements is the Black Sun, then the Imperials will just be for fun. So, like a cat playing with a mouse, it's going to be, toying with them, but the Black Sun would be the primary target.
Okay. Then so difficulty of, let's see, you're jumping down, so that'd be engaged. So it's what, 2? Engaged or 1? 2.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was 2. Yep. Difficulty 2.
All right.
Remember your bonus. You get your boost from your check.
Oh yeah, thank you. Then in
Uh-huh.
that case, so if I go down to this one, is only one person or is there a couple?
Well, if you're jumping, if you're attacking the Black Sun side, the Vigo is standing towards where the crate is, talking to the Imperial officer, and a few feet back, flanking him on each side, are 2 individuals.
Okay.
And the one you'd be aiming for would be closest to the building.
All right. So what I see is just basically one attack, then not doing dual wielding. Okay. That's all I was trying to get was the visually. Okay. So here we go.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to hit him for 1. That's going to be 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage.
Okay.
And it will. I'm going to go ahead and cause a crit.
Okay. So, yeah, so you jump on this guy, and with that, you just pretty much you decimate him. He didn't even notice it, and you took him out. Bam! So how did you take him out?
Coming down, kind of like how my picture is, just basically just flying basically head first, as a kind of be pouncing onto all four legs, and when I come down, I just punch, and instead of me just kind of stopping and landing, it's like I went through, and his whole body just topples, um, and I continue, and then I'm on the ground, all fours, and looking at my next. My next I'm the my next prey. Is that right? Yeah, my next prey.
Yeah. All
And of
right.
course, that put a little bit of blood on me, so that was great.
All right. So, Sean.
Yeah, Gorm is aimed at the other guy, the other well-dressed one that was the two of them doing their business deal talking.
So you're taking one of the guy, the Imperial or the Black Sun guy.
Black Sun.
Okay. That
Or
would
wait, no.
be.
So
Well,
it'd
they'd be
be
both in short range or medium
Okay.
range. So
well, which one?
because they're staying real close. Yeah, whichever one you want to take, the Imperial or they're right in the crate in between them two. So they're
I mean, which
not
one as
talking
far
very
as?
loud.
I meant which one as far as range. You said short and medium, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, they're both in. So you were in medium range within the whole intersection, so they'd be in medium.
Okay.
Everybody's
So I
pretty
thought.
much in medium except for like maybe the one stormtrooper that's next to your building may be in the short range, but the rest of them are in medium.
That's what I thought. So, medium, bum 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 bum, and I'm not gonna spend one of those. So.
All right.
All right.
So
So
your damage on
that's 12 damage, and I'm going to pass on 2 boosts to the next PC.
All right. I'm gonna pause for a moment. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. So after that surprise round, okay. So when you hit the Black Sun guy, he great shot. Describe where the shot. You didn't kill him, but you did some damage to him. You put him, give him a good little run.
All right, so he's got his back to me as he's talking to this Imperial, and Gorm, using his E11 rifle that he's got, using it two-handed, seeing as how he's not on his speeder bike. Takes aim, fires, and catches this guy just like left center, like right in his shoulder blade, and sort of like spins him around.
All right. So you shoot him and he spins around and it's just, I'm not sure what just happened. So, but now everybody knows that there's guys there. So we're going to start the regular initiative. So we'll go with the, so you knocked out one of the NPCs, so I'll knock off that one. So the first one will be the Black Sun guy that you just hit. And he is going to move. Let's see, so Sarn's there. He's going to start heading to the rubble pile. And he doesn't quite get to it, but he's pretty darn close. So he's starting to head to the rubble pile. And that's his move. Oh wait, no, he's gonna take a. No, he'll move to there. He's gonna move to and take a shot at Sarin. So let's see, Sarin's in short range. Oh. So you take 7 damage. He crits. So that is. No, it's not too bad. So 6 would be. Oh wait, 8. 8. Slowed down. So from now on, you can only act during the last allied initiative slot. Oh, just on this next turn. So you will not be able to act until the very last slot. All right. So that ends his turn, and then we go with the Imperial officer. He starts to run down the. No, wait. I'm sorry. No, it's the other guy that is with the Imperial officer, the marshal guy. He moves to the rubble pile, makes it there. Let's see. I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, doesn't notice Core, the other guy. And he is just going to take up position and try to figure out where the shot's coming from that hit the Black Sun guy. So he's going to hold, and that brings us to the first player. So either Brian, or either Dala, Guarm, or you can have Core or the other guy act. I'll leave that up to you guys.
Well, I guess since I've seen them, since stuff has been going on, I will go and I will try and shoot that same one that Gorm was shooting.
Okay.
You get 2 boosts from me.
Thank you.
And you get your boost from your first combat check.
So I get 3 boosts.
And yeah, and so he's at short range still. So.
Okay. And that's will be 1 or 2 purple?
That's one. I got two.
2?
Wait, nope. Short one.
Oh, okay.
One purple. Yep.
All right. I think I got everything that needs to be tapped.
Cool. So what's your damage?
Damage is 7, and there is a there's 7 crit on 3, linked 1, vicious 1.
All right. Yeah. If it was linked, you had 2 weapons, right? And that's all right.
If
If you had 2 weapons.
yeah,
Okay. All right. And you said your damage was what again?
7.
7. Okay. And go ahead and roll me. You're using a crit, right? Go ahead and roll me the crit for that.
I've never actually rolled the crit. I never got one. So what is that exactly?
D100.
Oh, a D100. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Oh.
And with his crit, just sorry, interject, he could actually add +10 because of the second crit.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, we'll do that then.
I get another crit?
It would
Okay.
be 92.
92.
Okay.
Okay, so
Plus it's
he's at-
vicious, so that could be 102.
Oh shit. All right. All right. So you'll like this. All right. So he is maimed. A limb is permanent loss unless the target has a cybernetic replacement, which he does not. The target cannot perform actions that require the limb. All other actions are set back. So where did you blow off?
I get to choose?
I'll let you choose which limb you blew off.
Oh, which limb? His right arm.
His right arm. All right, so you take your shot, and the shot hits right near where the
Oh, wait a second. Can I pick? It could be any limb?
I'll give you any limb that you want, yeah.
His foot.
Okay.
And
So,
falls.
right, so you take the shot, and it hits right in
His
between
leg.
the knee and the ankle. So basically, the lower part of his leg just buckles up from underneath him, and he tumbles to the ground, and he's now knocked prone, and he is in bad shape. So he is laying there, not moving now. And
God, I'm sorry.
do you want to move anywhere, or do you want to stay where you're at?
I'm going to
Is there anything else?
I'm going to move slightly back, kind of into just a little bit off, just knowing they're probably going to start firing up here. But I'm going to just kind of move back and wait for the gunfire.
All right. So that ends your turn. So it's either Gorm or the 2 guys, and I'll let Sean decide on that. Cora and the other guy.
I'm going to be greedy. Gorm will go ahead and fire at, seeing as how his target ran off over toward the pile and sees him get hit and leg get crumpled underneath him. He switches targets to one of the closer stormtroopers.
Okay. Alright, so you are at medium range still, so same difficulty.
Okay. And let's see, he's still using it two-handed, so I don't get the setback for using it one-handed. Alright, so 11 points of damage.
11. Okay, so you take your shot at the closest stormtrooper. You take him out. So how do you take him out?
Alright, so as he's crouched down here in this window, he sees all this going on. He switches aim and aims at one of the stormtroopers who's still sort of facing in his direction but not knowing where the shot's coming from. Fires and catches the guy square in the chest, like right below the collarbone, right in the breastplate. And it just takes him right off his feet.
All right, so you knock out the one stormtrooper, and in the process of the bolt, when it comes back out, it comes at a different projection and hits his buddy right next to him. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it needs a nice little nick in the armor and little singed on his nice little deep burn on his arm, but he's not out of the game by any means. So, all right. That ends your turn. Did you want to move anywhere, or do you want to stay where you're at?
Seeing as how nobody has exactly located where he's at yet, or he's thinking nobody's exactly located where he's at yet. He's going to stay where he's at, just sort of crouch down in behind the window so that, like, all you can, if anybody finds him, all they'd be able to see of him is, like, from his mid-chest up. So he's like 3/4 cover type of thing.
All right. Okay, so that ends your turn. So the next next 3 slots are player slots, but Sean has to wait till the last one. So we're going to go ahead and do Cor and his buddy. They noticed the martial guy come running, so Cor's going to take his shot, and he's there at short range from each other, so that's 1 purple. So range is 2. Oh wait, it's all right, and who's gonna take a shot? And he's taking a shot at the marshal. So that damage, let's see, that's 12. Oh, and he crits, too. Wow. That dueling pistol. Wait, and I forgot to, wait, pierce. Oh, add a stroke, and then I gotta add a boost, so I'm just, forgot to add the boost for the accurate. Alright. So he crits. Crit 4. Oh, wow. Alright, so that's 13. So 11. Oh, wow. So that shot, that one shot from Core puts that marshal right on his ass, and he looks like he's pretty bad shape. And what did I say? It was 89. So with that, so any attacks now that this martial guy has, it increases the difficulty. He's compromised, so he's in bad shape. And Core's just going to sit there and duck down because he's got to reload for his next round. So he'll reload his weapon on his next round. And then his buddy will attack the martial guy and try to finish him off. He's at short range also. Alright, so that's 5, 6. Alright, so his buddy shoots the martial guy as he's down on the ground and gets another shot right in. So Core shoots him in the chest, he goes down and he's bleeding pretty good. His buddy shoots him in the leg, and does more damage. And this guy, this martial guy, is on his last leg. I mean, there's not much left of him at this moment. So his Course buddy will not move either. He'll stay where he's at, and that leaves Sarin.
All right, so I'm down by this one guy who went down. They moved back. Marshal. Now the Marshal was their Black Sun speaker.
The Marshal was with the Imperial officer. So he's over in the Marshal's over in the rubble area where Core and his buddy are, but they're like short distance from each other. He didn't see him as he went running, so they basically got pretty much surprised on him.
Okay. And the two speakers are more in the middle?
Yeah, well, the Black Sun guy ran towards the rubble also and didn't make it. He was close to the rubble, getting into the rubble pile. The Imperial officer hasn't gone yet, so he's still just sitting there.
Okay. So the Black Sun speaker is still there, right? Or did he not? He just said he is there. Okay.
He's from your distance. He's from where you're at right now. He ran. You'd been almost engaged when you pounced on the one guy. You were just like a couple steps, and boom, you're engaged.
Okay.
And then
so
he ran.
Just to clarify, you said short because you kind of blurred out. You said short?
Yeah, he's in short range. Yep.
All right, then I know exactly what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to pick up the body that's next to me, and I'm going to jump towards him, and I'm going to use the body as a melee weapon onto this person. So just tell me what the difficulty on that because I'm going to be going into melee.
Okay, so you're throwing him, or you?
No, I'm going to be. I'm going to pick up the body, and then I'm going to pounce to that speaker, and then as I get there, I'm going to use the body as a melee weapon.
Okay. I'd say it's just a one difficulty at that point.
Okay. Not a problem, but I'll do what I got to do. Don't do it, so I have to use it. Sorry, guys, but I'm losing strain too. So that's going to be two more strain. And you could say what the damage is because base is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Basically, I'm grabbing the leg of the one body, and then once I get there, it's just like I'm swinging the body right onto him. So he's got this full-fledged weight of dead body on top of him. Just got swung on.
So when you throw the body towards him, it hits him in the head, and just the sheer force of the body hitting him in the head just snaps his neck, and the Black Sun guy just drops. So he's out.
I'm looking right at. Then I kind of like looking right at the Imperial officer. Like he knows he's next, so he better do what he's got to do against me.
All right. So Black Sun guy's out. So he's out. So then we go to the NPC. So the next NPC is the Imperial agent. Seeing all this mass chaos, he is going to start booking it the hell out of there. So he's running back from the way he came. He's about a third of the way down the alleyway at that point. He's not going to double maneuver. He's just hauling ass. And that'll end his turn. That is us with the other guy with the Black Sun. Seeing his two buddies go down, he's hightailing it out of here too. So he's going down the way he came, and he's about a third of the way down the road at this point. That ends his turn. The stormtroopers are now going to The only person they see at this moment is Sarin, so they're going to take a shot at Sarin. The three that are left in there. So they'd be at short range. Let's see. Oh, so they're all 3. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. All right, so you take 9 damage. That's just base, so whatever your soak is. And their advantage is they're going to send a boost dice off to the next NPC. All right, and that ends the first run of the initiative. So we start the round all over again, and we go to, see, he's dead. So he's out. Next guy would be the marshal guy, who is pretty banged up, and he's going to slowly attempt to get up and just try to get the hell out of there. He just gets up and staggers maybe a foot or two, and that's the only further he gets, and that's pretty much his. No, he will take a shot at. No, he didn't notice anybody else, so he's just going to move and not really move very far. So that's his turn, just basically getting up and making a couple steps. But he's still in the rubble pile. That leaves us with the next player. So now it's back to anybody. We're through that first round, so you're good.
Alrighty. Okay. I'm going to take the concentration because now I have to go with my speed, and I'm going to try to catch up to this Imperial person. So I'm going to run one maneuver, and then I'm going to hopefully jump and pounce onto the agent. I can get to him. Sorry, guys, if I need to catch up to him. So, wow, this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Trust me.
Oh, just take the conflict. Leave the point.
I'm not worried about the conflict. It's the strain. And so I'm going to jump at medium to him.
Okay.
So I ran for whatever distance, and then I'm leaping at him in probably my longest jump I've ever done, and it's full-on spread of leaping to a medium range, up to medium range.
All right.
Is that enough to catch up to him?
So, I'm thinking. Oh yeah. You're playing on that. I was like thinking from it. Yeah, he didn't get that far away.
Oh, I thought you were saying he took more, like he easily made
Well,
that.
Well, I mean, it's what you're talking about. Like, he didn't do a double maneuver. He just used his regular maneuver and just started booking it.
Okay, so I could have just taken one maneuver to do what I did.
Right.
Okay, well then. All right, so let's go ahead and do that then. I'm going to take my single maneuver, do that leap at him, and then 1, 2, and then so we're engaged on him, and he's going to wish he actually shot me or did something to make me more mad. And does he have any defenses, melee defenses, or anything?
Nope.
All right, and this is going to be 2 because I'm right.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so it's going to be 10, 11, 12 damage. 12, let's go 13 damage. And I can do a crit, if he's still up.
Yeah, he's
'Cause,
still up.
okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do a crit, and that's going to be from lethal blows. He's going to have plus 20 to this 100% die. So plus 20, 51.
Okay. All right. So fearsome wounds to the target increases the difficulty of all presence and willpower checks by 1 until the end of the counter. All right. So you pounce on him and you mess him up pretty good. He's you clot him up and he's just starting to bleed profusely. Blood's starting to rush out. You are definitely becoming the red today, and you have knocked him prone as you attacked him. So he's now down on the ground. Is there anything else you want to do? Or, you did everything you could. All you got left is incidentals.
I have a lot of incidentals, and I'm just going to kind of roar and slobber, whatever it is from that mass heavy anger that I am right in his face as I'm like hovering right over him.
And I think he might have pooped himself a little bit on that one. So we will go to whoever wants to go next. So either dog or...
Go ahead,
Unless
Sean.
you got a... Alright. So, Gorm, seeing these couple of guys running off and seeing Sarn going after one of them, he hops right out the window and down onto his speeder bike as his first maneuver that he had parked just below the window.
Okay.
As he does so,
all right.
As he does so, he just sort of drops his blaster rifle as soon as he hits the bike. He just drops the rifle on the ground and guns the bike. Starts heading off towards these guys running. This guy running off. Would that put me within close range?
Oh yeah, you'd be. I mean, from you jump out of the window and get that bike going at its speed, boom, you'd be right on top of him.
All right, so yeah, as he's getting catching up on him, that's 2 maneuvers, that's 2 strain, and he's going to fire the light blaster cannon off the bike at him as he's running him down, type of thing.
Okay.
Because nobody's supposed to leave. Nobody's supposed to walk away from this but us. So.
Okay, so you're gonna fire. You start off, you'll fire, and then you'll catch up to him. So.
Yep.
Are you firing right away, or are you firing as you get closer to him?
As he gets closer to him. Like if you said I could get like almost right on top of him, he's gonna wait till he's like right on top of him to fire.
Okay. So difficulty was that a gunnery?
Yeah.
For your bike, or okay, you're almost on engage. Oh wait, that would be engaged. So you'd want to be at close range.
Yeah.
Short range. Okay, so difficulty 1 then.
All right. Oh shit.
But,
all right, so
did you have any? Okay, I will play. I do your house rule on the 3 successes or 3 advantages makes a success. So if you want to do that, I will give you that option.
well, if you're gonna let me do that, I will definitely use my the house rule. I'll use 3 advantages to turn that into 1 success.
Okay.
So that's 4 damage from a vehicle's cannon, which turns into 40 damage on a person, correct?
Okay, yeah. So basically what happens at this point is Gorm gets going, gets a little overzealous on trying to stop him, and vaporizes him basically when he gets that shot. Hits him, boom. Guy goes up in flame and smoke, and there's basically nothing left of them. So, there's one more guy down, and is there anything you want to do with your the last two advantages you got?
I'll pass them off to the next PC for 2 boosts.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's
These Dala or the two guys. Okay, who's left?
who's still up that looks important?
Okay, I'm trying to figure out who is left, actually.
The
So many
marshal
guys are-
at the rubble pile.
Yeah, he's still left, and he's... Yeah, so he's left. And the stormtroopers, those are the only two that are left right now.
Okay. Can I hit the marshal?
Or the... Yeah, you could, from your distance,
Yeah.
no, he's in the rubble pile. You could, all right, I say you could if you could. All right, so it is going to be a medium range shot with
Okay.
2 setback because of the rubble pile,
All right.
and he's prone,
Okay.
so it's very hard to see.
All right.
It's medium range, 2, and you get 2 boosts from shots.
And 1 setback.
2 setback.
Yeah. 2 setback. Any? That's it, or any of the purple or the?
Oh yeah, and I forgot to. It's actually so purple is medium range, 1 purple, 1 red. I forgot to use this earlier, so I'm gonna use it now.
Okay.
Use adversary 1.
Let's see what this does. All right. Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did stand up last round. Thank you, Sean. So that would be add an advantage to it. I'm going to give you 1 boost, 1 setback taken off of that roll, and I'll give it the one that you had threat on, so you get an advantage on it. But
Okay.
you killed him anyway. So he was down to 1 hit point, basically. So when you shot him, when you stood up, you just how did you shoot him? You just describe your shot.
Well, if he stood up, I just nailed him in the chest. If it was strong enough, just maybe
All
splattered him.
right. All right. So then you got an advantage. What did you want to use for your advantage?
What can I do with that other advantage? Can I get another shot?
You can give a. Well, let's see. You still got the stormtroopers left now, so you can pass a boost on to the next player.
I will do that. So I will pass a boost on.
Or you can. Okay. Or you can. I was gonna say recover strain if you need to, but it sounds like Sarn needs the
Alright.
strain recovery more than
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
do.
No, give it to. If Sarn needs it, definitely give him the boost time.
Well, you pass the boost dice off on the next one. It would be
Yeah.
you could recover your own strain, but all right. So boost dice
I'll-
going for
I
the
still have just 1 strain.
all right.
I'm okay.
All right. So that leaves Core and his buddy. Core is spending this round reloading because his pistol has to be reloaded. So he's taking this round to reload his pistol. His buddy, noticing all these guys going down, is going to take a shot at one of these stormtroopers, or at the stormtrooper that didn't get killed by Gorm, his buddy. So that would be medium range. So, 2. Alright, so 5, 6 damage. So he takes his shot at the other stormtrooper and aims for the singe that in the burn that already it had, and it opens it up deeper, makes it a worse burn. More of the armor's blasted away, but he's still standing. He's still doing pretty decently. So that ends his buddy's turn. He's going to stay where he's at, and now that leaves the stormtroopers. So let's see, Soren's here, Gorm's here. Alright, so Dala, you didn't move, right?
No,
You're still
I'm
in your
still.
standing area?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to do this real quick. Alright, so they spot you from your last shot. So they're going to take a shot at you. And you're at medium range.
And I'm in cover also.
Okay, so they'll get a setback from cover. Yeah, you are in cover, that's right. So let's see. Alright. Alright, so you take base damage. 9. That's just base, so. But they didn't get you a crit or nothing, so. So they noticed the shot from that building, and they all point their weapons, and they just start firing, and some of the wall had been repaired, and some of the blaster gets, one of the blaster bolts gets through the wall and hit you as they're shooting that way. And that shot in their turn. And we go, seems how they're the only ones left. Next PC. Whoever wants to go next.
Where's everyone else? Okay.
Okay, so the two stormtroopers, all the stormtroopers are basically in the same positions they were. They were just have found out where one of the people are shooting. They can't see Soren or Guam because Guam went flying on his bike one way, and Soren went the other way down the street. So all they saw was your blaster coming out. They don't even see Core or these other buddies.
I'm going to shoot back at them. They shot me.
All right. All right. So you want to shoot at the ones that are, there's two that are close to you, like in short range.
I'll get the ones that are close.
All right. So short range difficulty of 1. 1 difficulty.
And is there any? No, there are no more boost dies available.
No, I don't think there are anymore.
Okay, they were kind of nice.
Yeah, because you spent the last one, yeah. So.
All right, let's see what I do. Ooh.
What's that? So what's the damage on that?
That is 7.
7 base.
Yeah,
It's
since damage
7,
is
8,
7.
9.
Yeah, 7 crit. 3.
Okay, so 7. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on that shot. So, all right. So you shoot at the two that are closest to you. You take one of them out. The one that's closest to you, you just take them out. One shot, and the chest, boom, goes down. The guy behind him, the bolt goes through and hits his armor. Does a nice little singe mark on it. He's still up. He's still in decent shape. So.
Okay.
Do you want to move, stay, do anything else?
I'm going to duck down at this point.
Okay. All right.
Good. Yeah.
So the next player.
All right. Gorm puts his bike into sort of a slide and turns around. and comes heading back. And the one stormtrooper that was standing next to the first one that he shot is the one he's gonna go after this time.
Alright, so you're moving into short range then
Yes.
from him? Okay.
Yep. And so that's going to be so that's 50 because of the +1. So I'll pass the.
This is all I'm going to say. There's only 2 stormtroopers left, and so what happens is Gorm comes around, whips it around, aims, gets his bike in position, shoots the blaster bolt. It goes through the one stormtrooper that he think before. The blaster bolt just goes through him like hot knife through butter. It bounces off some armored material that happens to be standing that just reflects bolts. So it hits this on the side of this building, and just happens to hit the right angle where it hits the other stormtrooper that's standing there, and blasts a hole in his chest and knocks him down. So everybody has now been eliminated where you're at.
Not
so
yet.
you cleared the intersection.
Not quite yet.
Yeah, everybody's out.
Even my officer? Even my officer?
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. You are correct. He is not dead yet. I forgot.
Kill him! Kill him!
But he
Kill
was.
him!
So
You must kill him!
So then, Soren.
You're going to have 3
go.
boosts.
I'm going
And
to
you have
show
boost.
I'm going to show my signature move towards Imperial officers, and I'm looking right at him, and I come back pulling, and he knows he's pretty much dead. But instead of grabbing for his neck or face, I'm going to stab right into his body, trying to grab for his backbone. That's how much force I'm just going to put into it.
All right. So, so it's engaged. So is it?
And he's prone.
He's prone. Yep. So that's. What's your weapon?
Brawl.
Melee, right?
Yep.
Okay. So 2, and he's prone. So I'll give you a boost on that.
Boost, okay.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure, unless if you really flub this roll, you can probably take him out.
Well, it can happen.
It can happen.
See?
The dice are...
See? It
Now,
just
wait a
did.
minute, though. Remember,
You get 3
Sean
boosts
just-
from me, too.
Do what?
Oh, yeah. You get 3 boosts, Sean, so add 2 more boost dice to your roll.
Okay, so just
Just
want you
add
guys...
3. Just roll 3 blue die.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you kidding me? Okay, well, you can use the house roll. 3 advantages
Oh,
makes
that's
a
right.
success.
I forgot about that house where
Yeah.
you guys have.
Yeah.
So let's do 3, 3. That's 3, 2. I'll go. All right. So and you can only do that once.
Yeah, what it does is it gives you a success, so you actually get at least 1 success.
Okay, so I can only do that once. Okay, so it'll be 10 points of damage, and and then let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking. Nye's already knocked down. I don't need to stun him. He's already okay, so I can't use any of those. So it will definitely get a crit.
Okay.
Okay, I'm surprised he's still
All
alive
right.
on this one.
So, no, basically before the crit, you pretty much eliminated. But here, one crit on them, I think. Yeah, so that yeah, you recover your strain with the rest of those advantages.
Okay, so that'll be 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
3 strain.
Just the success itself takes them out.
Okay.
So you can use the rest of the strain or rest of the advantages you have to recover some of your strain.
All right. And this good thing this show is not for kiddies because when I did that, this spray of blood just came right on top of me. And I'm going to carry him as a suitcase back to the group.
Oops. All right. All right. So you guys have eliminated your target. There are bodies just strewn everywhere, and a crate sitting right in the middle of the street.
We need to obtain that crate. I will start heading for the crate.
Okay. So you're going for the crate. Gorm, Sarn, is there anything you wanted to do?
Gorm swoops past where he dropped his rifle and sweeps it up with him as he zings past it, and heads over to the crate and helps Dahlia when she gets there to set it up on the back of his bike so he can haul it off to wherever they've got to take it.
Okay.
And it's on a
Okay.
turbo lift, right? That the crate.
The crate actually. The crate is a small crate. Basically, 2 stormtroopers were just carrying it with no problem just down the street. So basically, him putting it on his bike should be no problem. It's fairly easy. One man could probably do it. They just did it too because it was easier.
Because we also have a regular speeder if we need to get it on the back of that house. You know what?
Yeah.
Vehicles.
But yeah, it's not a very heavy crate. I just used the crate. I mean, it could be more size of like a foot locker, maybe a little bit smaller. So.
Then either I help them put it on there for them, or I'll go in and get the weaponry and put it into the one speeder for that we have all their weapons, all the Imperial weapons.
So you're searching
bodies
and all that?
Just
weapons?
Just grabbing their weapons because that Zan could use those. More weapons, the better.
Alright. Anything else, or are we getting out of here?
Just incidental as Sarn comes walking up carrying this officer's body like luggage. Gorm would just look at me. Oh, got yourself a new carry-on, huh?
Carry on. He's gonna die right here, and I'll just literally slam him right on the ground, get him off my hand basically, and then just watch him just not the one I want.
And the only other thing that Gorm would do is, as everybody's taken off, he'd zing past one of the stormtrooper bodies and lean over and grab one of the helmets just under the lip and yank the helmet off as he's going. Sort of a souvenir sort of thing.
Okay. All right. As you guys are heading off, you see Cor and his buddies start going around, searching all the bodies, taking what they can, whatever you guys left behind. And you guys arrive back to Crimson Springs with no incident. As you guys get back, your ride tells you to open the crate up, and as you open the crate up, you discover what was in the crate is there is a list of local rebel sympathizers on a data pad. There is an enhanced optical sight sitting in there. electronic lock breaker sitting in there, and a credit stick worth 8,300 credits.
Ooh.
Gorm, he like picks up the electronic lock breaker, Pat, and looks at it, and he's, I already got one of these, so he drops it back in, and like when he drops it back in, that's when he sees the credit stick. Picks that up, and he's, I'll take claim to this.
Okay.
Unless you guys got an argument for it.
No, it's fine.
You're too easy. I'll split it.
Yay!
Uh,
And I'll look at his, and I'm like, oh, I got one too, and I'll pick mine up. Like,
all right. So Gorm takes the credits, and nobody fights him for it. All right. All right. So you guys are just gonna leave the rest of the stuff then sitting there and let Uri decide what to do with it?
I'm sure if it's going to be put there at the headquarters, I'm sure it can just be there, and then whoever it's for use for later,
Okay.
for missions or
Yeah, that's
whatever.
what I was getting at. That you just let Uri handle the rest of it's in there. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So we wrap up the story here. You guys have successfully prevented the Civil War from breaking out again. Uri is highly pleased that the mission went off very successfully without anybody in your guys' group getting hurt whatsoever, or very little damage. And he's very pleased, and he says, I knew I picked you guys for the right job. You guys were right for this job. And there will be others helping you. And don't worry, Sarin, Kata will be back. And he goes, oh, wait, by the way, Sarin, you know that Imperial officer that you finished off?
Mm-hmm.
He was one of them that was in part of the, I would say, job of destroying your family. In fact, he was the one who was heading up the whole thing. He's known as a destabilization agent. Their sole mission is just to cause problems so the Empire can move in and take over.
This one did
So
not
you-
see. This one did not see him. This one, it was not him who put me in the cuffs and chains and thing over my mouth. But he's good.
Oh, he was. He was one of those guys that helped do that. In fact, I'm surprised you didn't notice. And as you were thinking back to when you smelled that smell, it starts to click that that smell was recognizable because it was one of the smells you smelled that day. So
And
you know for a fact that
It was one of them. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not sure if it was good, bad. I have no feeling of what I did. If it was supposed to feel like this or feel good, I don't feel that. I don't feel bad either.
Then count it as a win.
Uri just goes, regardless if you feel good or bad, you've done us all a great service. And I'm sure you guys will have more opportunities to fulfill these duties that unfortunately have been put on us. But we'll get through this.
Dala will tell Sarin, you know what? Sometimes you don't have to feel anything about this.
Oh, okay. You like you see me bright lightens up like Okay, that feels
It's a
good.
better way to deal with it.
Well, this one will pay attention more next time.
You did a good job.
And through most of this
You're right.
conversation,
You
go for
both
it, guys.
did.
Go ahead.
Through most of this conversation with this guy, Gorm's sitting at his data pad with a couple of blank credit sticks and the one that he pulled out of the crate, and just sitting there, and he's just tapping away at a stick in there, and he pulls one out, puts another in, taps into it, and he takes the two credit sticks and he hands one to Dolly and one to Sarah, and he says, "I know I said I took claim, but I'm greedy, but not that greedy."
Well, thank you very much.
Hands each of them 2,500 credits.
Ooh. It's very
Okay.
kind of you.
All right.
Hey, your skin was on the line just as much as mine was. Like I said, I'm greedy, but
You know,
not that greedy.
I must say I enjoyed taking those individuals out. I look forward to doing it again.
Most fun I've had in a
Uri
while.
goes, you guys will get plenty of opportunities. We'll have plenty more things that we'll have to take care of before everything's running back to the way it was perfectly running. He goes, but for now, you guys take a break, take a couple of days, and we'll come up with a new mission for you guys here soon. Until then,
Well, with this blind success, how much do we get paid for doing this job for you? Or are you going to tell me the credits that we found or our payment?
That was the
oh, we will reimburse you well. Don't worry. It's like, but for now, just keep the credits that you have. We'll get you more. Don't worry. The consortium takes care of all of its employees. And come on,
Mhm.
you're part of this triad. You're a council member. You can get pretty much anything you want. But I will pay you. Don't worry.
That's beside the point.
I will pay you. Do not worry. But for now, these credits. And anything you need, of course, from the consortium. As long as we have it, it's yours.
All right, I suppose.
And as you guys carry on your conversation and the image of Uri clicks off, the camera pans up out of the building towards the sun setting in the distance, and the screen goes to black, and that's our game. You guys have fun?
Yes, that was fun. It's very cool. Thank you.
All right. Not a problem. Well,
Lot of fun.
that's our game. What? All right. All right. Well, that's our game for tonight. We will have another episode of the Corsela sometime soon, episode 2. We're waiting on a couple individuals that are in the next game to be available. So hopefully sometime in August we'll have the second episode. I will be having other games. It looks like I will be getting together a Force and Destiny beginners game for some of the newer members of the Tides of Change role-playing group. So if you guys are part of the Tides of Change and you are a brand new player or somebody that's just recently joined up and is looking to get into Force and Destiny, I am going to do a 4-part series starting from the beginner game, the free beginner game, the adventure module that's in the GM's kit, and the adventure module that's in the rulebook. They'll be all connected, and we'll play that. So if you are a new player and have looked at that, I would ask that you don't play the game, just because it might ruin it. But if you haven't seen it at all, or haven't looked at them all, come join the game. I've already got one player that is committed. It looks like maybe a second. So I still got 2 more spots available at this time of the recording. So hopefully we get them together, and I think we got another Zara game, Search the Zara game, coming up in just under 2 weeks. It was supposed to be this Monday, but unfortunately a couple members couldn't make it, and I was a little too sore from some fun festivities the night before, so it was kind of a good night to take it easy. So, and we have next Monday, I know, at the Edge of the Empire game. Sean, still going
Yes,
that?
next Monday.
All right, and
Unless work
Brian will be
decides
there.
to screw me again.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Unless work decided to screw you again. All right, well, that concludes tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope everybody at home who's watching enjoys this episode. And until next time, which should be Monday, or no, Sunday. It'll be Sunday for that Force and Destiny game as long as we get the players and stuff. So that begins this Sunday, the 31st. So, oh no, the 24th. I'm sorry. It is the 24th. I'm off. So until then, everybody have a great night, and I will see you next time.